Sup, Panther Nation? Big news today with the Panthers agreeing to terms with former Pro Bowl defensive tackle Gerald McCoy. So what we're going to do today, we're going to take a look at some film on McCoy, see what he brings to the table, how he'll help this defense, and we'll also take a look at how he'll fit into the Panthers' new hybrid multiple front scheme that they've been installing this offseason. With Gerald McCoy, the Panthers are getting a consistent player, as indicated by his 6 Pro Bowls. He made All-Pro in 2013, and as you can see from his numbers, he's consistently produced as that interior defensive line with his sack totals, tackles for losses, and quarterback hits. In 2018, his production had fallen off a little bit, but still at age 31, he's playing at a high level, and you'll see that on film as we go through last season. First thing that stands out about Gerald McCoy is that he's a dominant run defender. He's very explosive off the ball, has a great ability to penetrate gaps and blow up plays in the backfield. He's very difficult for offensive tackles to reach block in zone blocking schemes. Here, watch how he's able to fire off the ball, beat the tackle to the point of attack, and blow the play up in the backfield against the Steelers. And you're talking about one of the better offensive lines in football with that Pittsburgh O-line. Now let's watch him against the San Francisco 49ers again as the 49ers try to run a zone blocking scheme away from Gerald McCoy. So this offensive tackle needs to be able to reach block him in order for this play to work effectively. But again, Gerald McCoy is going to beat him to the point of attack, occupy multiple gaps, and end up stopping this run for a minimal gain. Another factor that makes Gerald McCoy an effective run defender is his hand technique, which allows him to disengage from blockers. Against the Eagles, Philadelphia tries to run the zone stretch play away from him again, but watch how he's able to use this club move to disengage from this guard. Now he's in the backfield and able to pursue the running back. The Buccaneers have good pursuit here, and they're able to get in on a tackle for a loss. One thing you'll consistently notice about Gerald McCoy is even when he's not the play side defensive tackle, he's still able to pursue the ball carrier and make plays. Against the New York Giants, once again, he doesn't allow this guard to reach block him. Instead, he's able to shed him and get him on the ground and able to pursue the ball carrier and help get in on another tackle for a loss. Since he entered the league, Gerald McCoy has been known for having an explosive ball get-off, which allows him to shoot gaps and blow up run plays before they ever get started. He does exactly that against the Redskins as he's able to penetrate the backfield and his play gets blown up for a loss of yardage. He also takes on double teams very well. Against the Giants try to run a play to get double teams on both of the defensive tackles. But watch how Gerald McCoy is able to fire off the ball. He has a low pad level, good hand placement, and he's able to drive his man right into the running back for a loss of yardage. You'll also see Gerald McCoy do a good job of sniffing out screen plays. Here against the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Steelers try to run a screen and get a double team on Gerald McCoy. But watch here, he's able to take on the double team, engage this guard. Now watch him stack, shed him, and get in on the tackle. Just well played right there by Gerald McCoy. Now let's watch Gerald McCoy's reps as a pass rusher. Now I'd hate to do this, but let's first start against the Panthers. In this case, Gerald McCoy is going to run this slant rush right into the center, Ryan Khalil. He's going to do a good job here of using this chop to disengage Ryan Khalil's outside arm and then follow up with a swim move right over top. He's able to get Ryan Khalil off balance and get after Cam Newton, get the hit on him, and help get his team the interception. Luckily, he's on our team now, so we won't have to deal with this next year. Against the New York Giants, the Giants are going to try to come out and run this play-action bootleg. What Gerald McCoy does here is he gets a good initial first step off the ball, then he'll use this rip move to get away from the offensive guard. Now he's got the quarterback on the run. Gerald McCoy has a very strong, powerful lower body, and when you combine this with his elite ball get-off, he's consistently able to push offensive linemen backwards and shove them into the quarterback's lap. Let's watch him do exactly that against the New York Giants. Watch how he comes off the ball, fires off the ball, and he's got a good low pad level, which allows him to drive his man back into the quarterback and put him on his back. That's just what you like to see from your defensive tackle, to be able to collapse the pocket like that. Another thing I like what he does is how he uses his teammates effectively in his pass rush. Here he's first going to engage his guard and use his two-hand swipe to get his hands off of him. Now he's going to come around the defensive end, and he has enough speed and bend to be able to turn the corner and get a hit on the quarterback. On this play, watch Gerald McCoy use a combination of quickness and power to get rid of his man. First, he's going to fire off the ball and give this guard a little bit of shake and bait, then follow up with this club move to get rid of him. Now he's after the quarterback and has Matt Ryan exit in the pocket, and the Bucs are able to get the sack on the play. So basically give Gerald McCoy the assist on that sack. There's so many different ways Gerald McCoy can beat you. On this play, Tampa Bay is going to run a stunt, and Gerald McCoy is going to loop around this defensive end. He's going to end up being one-on-one with this offensive tackle. Watch here as Gerald McCoy is going to first get a good initial punch on this offensive tackle, drive him back a couple yards. Now he's got his hands inside near the chest plate and gets a good grab on his jersey. Now he can pull off this push-pull move where he'll just shove this guy aside and get that hit on the quarterback. Against the Washington Redskins, Gerald McCoy put a variety of pass rush moves on display. First, let's watch him work against this guard as he's going to get a good initial bull rush and knock him back a couple yards. Then he's going to follow up his bull rush with this club move to knock him aside, and that opens up a clear path for him to get in on the quarterback sack. Then on this next move, Gerald McCoy is going to be working against this guard again. He's going to first use this chop to get him off balance and then use this rip move to disengage from him. Then he's able to get in and get after the quarterback and get another quarterback hit, causing an incompletion. Now watch here on this last play as Gerald McCoy is going to be lined up against this guard again. This time McCoy is going to be real quick and sudden and hit him with this quick swim move right over the top. He's able to get another quarterback pressure and force a quick throw. So just throughout this game, you'll see a variety of things that Gerald McCoy is able to do as a pass rusher. So as you can see, there's so much that Gerald McCoy still brings to the table at the age of 31 in both the run game and in pass rush situations. He still has that explosive first step off the ball as you saw throughout the film. He takes on double teams very well and is not only able to defeat them, but also creates one-on-one matchups for your other defensive linemen. So this should also benefit guys like Mario Addison, Kawan Short, and even Brian Burns. He has advanced hand technique that allows him to disengage from blockers, and he just converts speed to power very well and consistently puts offensive linemen on skates and gets penetration into the backfield. So there's a lot to look forward to with the addition of Gerald McCoy. But the one thing I really like about Gerald McCoy is just the hustle plays that he makes. You love to see your defensive tackle making tackles like this 8 yards down the field, chasing down wide receivers. So just all of these qualities make Gerald McCoy a good fit in the Carolina Panthers defense. So lastly, let's look at different ways that Gerald McCoy can be incorporated into the Panthers defensive scheme. You can have in a 30 front or a 3-4 or a 3-3-5 defense. You can have Kawan Short and Gerald McCoy as your defensive ends, Dontari Poe at nose tackle with Burns and Addison as your outside edge rushers, and you have significant depth behind each of those positions. If you want to go to your traditional 40 front, you can have either Poe and KK as your defensive tackles and have KK and McCoy rotate to keep them fresh throughout the game, or you could go to more of a pass rush lineup and put KK and McCoy as your interior defensive linemen on the field at the same time. There's so many different combinations that you can use, and I bet Ron Rivera's got to be like a kid in a candy store right now with all of these new additions that the Panthers have added this offseason.